Morning, Alex. It's nighttime, which means that no matter where I sit in this room, I have bad lighting because there's only one light bulb in this entire room. So we've officially started week 7 of the term, which means that you and I have been doing this project for like 4 weeks? No, this is video number 30. 30. We have done enough videos that if somebody wanted to sit down on a regular month and watch one video every single day of that month, they could do so if they really wanted to. And a side note, we have a Twitter follower, and I have no idea who this person is. Maybe you know who this person is, but somebody is following our Twitter feed even though we haven't actually posted anything. And I'm not really sure why they're following it. Although they do have in their like little description thing that they want to have everybody play games, which is kind of cool. So here's a shout out to Mylin Van, who is our Twitter follower. I hope I didn't butcher your name entirely, but welcome. If you have any projects that you're interested in sharing with us, or you have any suggestions for projects that we should look at, or you have any recommendations for projects that we've already talked about, then, just let us know. Shoot us a tweet or a YouTube comment or something, because that would make our day. Speaking of new projects, I came up with an idea for a new project in class today because that's what I do instead of studying for my midterm that I had. Basically what I was trying to figure out was how could you make a game that the blind could play? I'm talking like a video game, because obviously if there's video involved, a blind person is kind of at a disadvantage. But now with all the technology of wireless controllers and everything, I feel like there's a way that you could make a game that blind people could play. Here is my idea for a game that would revolutionize the video game world. It would be a video game without the video. The storyline that I thought would be the most applicable to this project would be Zatoichi, the blind swordsman. You might have to design a surround sound headset so that you can have audio coming from in front of you and behind you. So what the audio would do is the audio would cue you as to your environment. So maybe you would hear footsteps to your one side, and so you would use the control to maneuver your character, and then that would change where the audio is being picked up in order to give you the feeling that you're actually inside of the world. The general idea I had was, imagine you have 2 Wii remotes, and so that would signify like your left and your right hand. And so you could either use it to give you some sort of sensory feedback as to where you are in the world. So maybe if you reach out with your right hand and you touch something, the controller shakes. And then the audio cues would let you know if maybe somebody's around, maybe a monster's coming, or Zatoichi, I don't know if he'd be fighting monsters, but he'd be fighting bad guys. He would use the audio cues from people's armor, or maybe their footsteps, or maybe you would hear swooshes of the swords moving. And so the sword fighting would have to be very, very basic, because obviously not everybody is a blind swordsman, and given the lack of actual sensory perception, from the disconnect to the game, you wouldn't be able to do, a full-on sword fight. But you could have something like, maybe if you hear the audio coming from above, you hold the Wii remote up to block, or maybe from either side. And so you'd have to figure out how to maneuver around the world just using like the control stick and just using the sensory input from the vibrations and the audio in order to actually play the game. If there's anybody out there who's interested in making the Zatoichi game, because I have no experience making video games, especially not for things like the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One or the Wii U. So if you have any experience doing that and you want to make the Zatoichi game, just give me a shout out. You can even just develop the entire thing on your own and take the idea and just, give me a credit, little tiny credit in the back, maybe throw a Venture Labs logo on the final screen somewhere. That would be cool. Yeah, so if anybody's interested in doing that, just let me know, because I'd love to hear that has actually occurred. Honestly, though, I don't expect anybody is actually going to do that, because once again, video games without the video, there's probably a reason that doesn't really happen. So anyways, Alex, that's my latest idea. I hope you were able to try out Pantheon over the weekend and get some ideas as to what could make it better, because honestly, I'm super excited to try that game. I haven't got a chance to print it out and do anything with it because, as I said, I had a midterm today, so I couldn't justify taking the time over the weekend, but I'm hoping to give it a shot in the not too distant future, but we'll see. Anyways, Alex, that's my quick rundown for the day of my new game idea, and I will see you tomorrow.